Welcome to the Athletes Unlimited Softball League, presented by Nike. It is Sunday at Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's Father's Day, and where better to spend it than at the ballpark. From Frost Stadium, it is the third and final game of the weekend series between the Talons and the Blaze. Speaking of the Blaze, their first baseman, Danielle Gibson Horton, produced the first individual multi-homer game in the brief history of the AUSL in Game 2 yesterday. And for the Talons, this year's SEC and USA Collegiate Softball Player of the Year, Bree Ellis, in the lineup today at DP. She has been an on-base machine for the Talons. And happy Father's Day. Great to have you with us on this Sunday from Tennessee, along with two-time All-American pitcher Kenzie Fowler. I'm Mark Neely. So we had two games yesterday because of the rain out here on Friday. The two teams combined for nearly 40 runs in the two games. There was no shortage of offense.
It was not a good day to be a pitcher at the ballpark yesterday. And if you like offense, this is the series for you. Both sides, the Blades and the Talons, they brought their bats to Chattanooga. The home runs were flying out of this ballpark.
Yeah, the Talons especially. They scored 4 runs in the first inning in each of the first 2 games yesterday in this series. And the ball, as you said, was flying out of here.
They have been visitors in this series, and I think that's the way the Talons have liked it because they have scored early and often. Hannah Flippen getting things going offensively, the veteran, a big 3-run shot swing, and then Sydney Romero almost taking out a car out there in left field. This was the swing that ultimately won Game 1 for the Talons, but just passing the bat 1 through 9. Caroline Jacobsen, Aguilar, all getting in on the action. I'm telling you, it has been a bad day to be a softball, or a bad weekend to be a softball here in Chattanooga. Swings have been hot.
Yeah, it was a wild Saturday here in Chattanooga. You look at the doubleheader yesterday, all the offense there. And the Blaze came back from an 11-run deficit to tie the game, but lost.
They have been right there. 2 comeback efforts that have fallen just short. And look at the numbers. They're sometimes even better than what the Talons have been doing offensively. It has just been that kind of weekend here in Chattanooga.
So the Talons now over 500 at 3-2 on the season as a team. Take a peek at their lineup for today with Aguilar batting in the 3 spot, playing second base. They're going to face in the circle for the home team, the Blaze. It's A Ocasio.
Now, this is a pitcher that we did not see yesterday at all for the Blaze, who really showed the entire pitching staff except for Ocasio. A pitcher that likes to spin it, change speeds, has good velocity, can use that rise ball when she needs to, but you just see all of the different looks that she can give hitters. She's a pitcher that's very difficult to scout for.
All right, so ready to go. The 2 wins yesterday for the Talons, one by 2 runs, the other by a single run. So Blaze were close in each game. Of course, had that great comeback that fell short. And the Talons looking for a sweep of this series. 3-2, as I mentioned, on the year. Blaze at 1-4, and the Blaze really looking to get out of Chattanooga with a win. Great to have you with us on this Father's Day. First pitch is a strike, and off we go from the Volunteer State.
Yeah, happy Father's Day, Mark.
Thank you so much, Kenzie, and happy Father's Day to your father.
Yeah, shout out to my pops. Hopefully he could figure out MLB.com and watching this game. I send him the link, so.
I think he can handle that. Sierra Sacco, rookie out of Mississippi State. Dad Patrick, happy Father's Day to him. We've been hearing a lot of that throughout this Sunday from Chattanooga. You should be very proud of daughter Sierra. What a start for her. I mean, she had just a knockout season this year at Mississippi State, and has just continued that here at the Pro League.
Yeah, leads the Talons in average.
Towards left center field, and on the move, Aaliyah Andrews into the left center alley. And that's the way the game begins on this Father's Day in Tennessee.
I feel like that's the first time we've seen Sierra Sacco not get on base, the first at bat of the game. So a nice start for Ocasio.
That would be an accurate assessment. She had a single to start the first inning, top of the first, each of the 2 games yesterday. Charlize Palacios. She's had a really nice start. I failed to mention that Sacco right now is number 6 in the league in batting average. Palacios is number 7 with a .389 batting average. First base umpire there, John Schaefer, says she went around, and it's 0-2. And we saw a lot of runs scored as we documented in the 2 games yesterday. And yes, the ball was flying out of the park frequently. There was a lot of offense. But there was also a lot of free passes, a lot of walks, throwing in a hit by pitch here and there. And that also was a big contributor to all the runs.
Yes, and it's why you saw the scores that were as high as they were, 14-12, 7-6. So when the home runs were being hit, it was home runs that were 2-run home runs, 3-run home runs. We didn't have any grand slams, but we had a lot of those multi-RBI big swings.
Palacios had a base hit in each of the 2 games yesterday. Flippen had a big home run in the first inning of the first game that really set the tone for the Talons. As we mentioned, the Talons scored 4 runs in the first in game 1. They scored 4 runs in the first in game 2. But had to fight and claw at the end of the game just to hold on. Aguilar waiting on deck as the 3-2's coming from Leach, Ocasio. And there's our first walk.
Saw Ocasio shake a couple of pitches. Goes to that drop ball on the outside part of the plate.
Well, Palacios is aboard with 1 out. Here comes Aguilar, who had one of those long balls yesterday. Happy Father's Day, Dad Mark. Solo home run in game 2 for Allie. Her second home run of the season in that game. OPS over 1,000 for her to start the season. Off speed, 2 balls, no strikes.
Aguilar standing a little bit further off of home plate than what we saw from her yesterday, where she was really toes up on the chalk, trying to take away anything that was outside. But knowing Ocasio can spread the plate well, in the box a little bit more neutral.
Howard Dobson, the head coach of the Talons. Take a look, opening series against the Bandits, they scored 7 runs, 6 of those in game 2 of that series, which was the only win they had of the 3. It's a different story here yesterday. Three balls and a strike. Aguilar. See what she gears up to look for on this 3-1 pitch. It's outside, ball 4. Well, you mentioned the free passes were an issue yesterday, and at least through 3 batters, we're not seeing that trend ending.
Yeah, and this first inning is so important for the Blaze to limit the Talons. Talons have scored 4 runs in the last 2 games in the first inning. And that has been the difference, because we saw the comeback that Blaze was able to put up. But when you're falling behind that big of a hole at the start of a game, it's so hard to climb back.
Yeah, you saw head coach of the Blaze, Lisa Gohler. We had a rain delay in the first game yesterday, and at the time, Talons were up 12-1. And when we came back after the rain delay, Coach Gohler's team was a different team. They came all the way back with 11 unanswered runs to tie the game at 12, but lost 14-12. Sid Romero 2-run home run late helped win it for the Talons.
I had never seen a comeback like that. I know it fell short, but man, 12-1, you come all the way back and tie it.
Tori Vidales, the cleanup hitter, bounces one back to the circle, dropped by Ocasio now. Makes the long underhand toss a little high, but Danielle Gibson Horton secures it. They do get it out. I know Ocasio probably was thinking, can I get this going for an inning-ending double play?
100% she was. Alicia Ocasio is the best fielding pitcher, and I say that confidently, in the AUSL, and this one just got a little ahead of her. Key for her to get that out.
Well, it gives a 2-out chance to Flippen with 2 in scoring position here for the Talons. And it hit a 3-run home run in the first inning of Game 1 yesterday. Any chance that history repeats itself here today? It's definitely a more humid day here in Chattanooga today. So it's, even if it may not be temperature warmer, it feels warmer. Easy to notice the difference in humidity today. It is definitely warmer.
Those fans coming in clutch. Also, they're just cute. Little softball fan.
Couple of pitches well off the plate to Flippen. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Trying to stay cool. We're just kind of happy to see the sun, quite frankly, though. And there's a bouncy ball up the middle and into center field. That'll chase home 1. The second coming for the plate. In with a slide is Aguilar. Ocasio was maybe a pitch away from getting out of the inning, but Flippen does what she has done in this series, and that is produce 2-run base hit.
And the 2 free passes come around to score with 2 outs. Hannah Flippen, the veteran, getting it done, seeing something inside, just taking it up the middle. Charlize Palacios, Ali Aguilar with good speed, scoring from second base. And the Talons, the visiting team this weekend, scoring first.
Carolina Jacobsen steps in. So with that 2-out, 2-run single for Flippen, that's now 11 2-out runs scored by the Talons so far in this 3-game series. Bouncy ball at the middle again, and that's a base hit. Well, Jacobsen singles, back-to-back 2-out hits for the Talons. And the top of the first rolls on.
I think Caroline Jacobsen is just excited that she got to swing, getting her swings off early in the count. She was a walking machine yesterday.
Ellis with 2 on and still 2 outs. The SEC Player of the Year at Arkansas. So the gentleman in the first row, I love the hat, number 1. He's got a, looks like a lemonade going there. But he had popcorn and lost the popcorn. To the amusement of the fans. So watch the ball.
Yeah, he's coming down to take his seat as the pitch is coming, which is, number 1, a little bit of a party foul at softball games. And how lucky that it was popcorn and not something like nachos, where the fans to the left and right of him kind of got some, you know, free popcorn in their lap, I'm sure. But if you're going to have a snack spill, that's definitely the snack that you want to have spill. Yeah.
So the net is obviously there for protection, but it's going to give a little bit when it gets a ball like that. And he found that out the hard way. Another deep count as it goes full.
I mean, his first mistake was not being in his seat when Bri Ellis is at the plate.
Yes.
She'll be walking down while she's swinging.
A lot of must-watch at-bats. She's definitely one of them. Hits one towards left field. And caught a little shy of the warning track to retire the side by Otis. But Ocasio gives up 2 on a couple of hits, and the Talons again score the first. So that's 10 first-inning runs in the 3 games for the Talons as they get 2 in the top of the first. We go to the bottom half and see the Blaze come up Take a look at their lineup. And Klingler, who's been red hot, batting in the 3 spot. They had a late switch in their lineup, moved her to third base. Gold to short. Urtez the DP. So that lineup you see there is accurate. And Aubrey Leach going to lead off, and in the circle, R Chaffin.
Yeah, how about a little rookie start here? A pitcher that is coming off a phenomenal and career season at Mississippi State. He's already pitched a little bit here in the AUSL, seeing some early action. He's going to throw a lot of curveballs and screwballs and has an elite changeup as well.
By the way, we received an update that the folks here at Frost Stadium are going to replace the popcorn for that gentleman in the first row.
Aww.
You know, I'm going to guess he's probably a dad. You don't want to deprive Dad on Father's Day of some popcorn on a little fluke incident. Been an interesting weekend in Chattanooga. Aubrey Leach, back in the state where she played her college ball at the University of Tennessee. Had 1 hit in each of the 2 games yesterday. Not hard to find the Tennessee Orange around here. Leach from the Houston area, the Woodlands, Texas.
Love that off speed there, needing a strike, and that tells you how confident R Chaffin is in that off speed pitch. She needed a strike, 3-0 count, goes to it.
It goes from 3-0 to 3-2 on Leach. Chaffin pitched in relief yesterday, a third of an inning through 11 pitches. Actually threw 20 pitches in that appearance of an inning yesterday, but nonetheless getting the start here in the 3rd and final game from Chattanooga. Another 3-2 pitch. And lost her.
Aubrey Leach is just so patient in that leadoff spot, and Chaffin was trying to set her up with that backdoor curve. You'll see the usage with the screw and curve side to side, and then the changeup. There's a lot of them.
Kayla Kowalik, who's getting the start in right field. Kayla combined 1 for 7 in the 2 games yesterday. Did score 4 times in the 2 games. Squares and takes a strike. 1-1. Like the hitter batting in front of her, Aubrey Leach. Kowalik is a Texas native as well, from New Braunfels, not too far from Austin. Shoots it foul right over the head of head coach Elisa Goller.
Kowalik, a lot of tools. Seen her already in this at-bat show her drag, then go to her slap, trying to figure out a way to advance Aubrey Leach over from first base to second, potentially get herself on with her speed.
That'll even the count at 2-2 on Kowalik. Chaffin from Louisiana. Talon starter from the Shreveport area, Bossier City, and A little bit off the outside corner, and it's a full count.
Your team gives you a quick lead in the first, a 2 spot. The last thing you want to do is issue the top of the lineup back-to-back walks.
Softly bounced to second base. The flip there from Aguilar to Flippen. They get the force out of Leach, and now Kowalik will run at first. Look at the series stats for the Blaze. You know, you look at the offense they've been producing, and it's kind of like, all right, yeah. Especially in the 2 games here.
Yeah, they have more hits and a higher batting average than the Talons this weekend, just the 2 games yesterday. It was just the Talons scored at the right time, had the 3-run home runs, the 2-run home runs, versus maybe just a couple more singles on the Blaze side. They've been right there offensively.
It's Bailey Klingler, who is leading the AUSL in batting average, .579. She's 11 for 19, and now make it 12 for 20 to begin the season. She is just, yes, red hot, locked in.
It's kind of been the celebration for Blaze when they get on base. It's been fun to watch them develop their little, I don't know, chemistry in terms of what your cheers are and what your themes are. This is just kind of what Bailey Klingler has been doing, spraying the field. I call her a bad ball hitter. She can hit anything. She will go get it. And that's why her batting average has been so high.
Danielle Gibson Horton, cleanup hitter. 4 hits through the 2 games yesterday, including a couple of homers in game 2. 3-run homer and a 2-run shot. First player in the brief history of the league to have a multi-homer game. Blaze so far in the series, 10 for 22 with runners in scoring position, so you'll take that.
Tell that Chaffin is being very careful with Gibson Horton working away.
7 RBIs combined in the 2 games yesterday for her. An off-speed pitch catches the high part of the zone, and it's 2-2.
I wouldn't be afraid to go back to that off-speed, just maybe go a little bit lower in the zone.
Big Saturday yesterday for Danielle. Tailed a little bit off the outside corner, so another deep count, and it's 3-2. Runners at first and second, 1 out here for the Blaze. Talons scored 2 in the top of the inning. And the fly ball out to center field. Sacco drifting towards left center. Sierra makes the catch, gets it back to the left side of the infield, and the runners hold. 2 outs.
Chaffin goes back to that changeup. It's a big out. We saw Gibson Horton with her 2 home runs yesterday. Still have to deal with Corby Otis, who you and I have been talking about this entire weekend, having really quality at bats.
Yeah, the rookie out of Florida. I mean, even a number of her outs have been allowed outs. Happy Father's Day, Dad Matt. Corby just out of Florida. It was this year's SEC Scholar Athlete of the Year. When you can go play in the Women's College World Series and you're the conference's Scholar Athlete of the Year, you've had a pretty good year.
But like at some point, how is that fair that you can be the smartest and the most athletic, right? Usually you just have to pick one.
Sensing a little jealousy. It's Father's Day. Do we need to go there?
Can't have it all. And she does. She has it all.
She, very talented lady. And that's going to be in the left field. Headlong diving. No, it pops out of the glove of Alchin. And that's going to bring in a run as Kowalik scores. Great effort by Alchin, but again, another well-hit ball by Otis. And this should be an RBI base hit for Corby and her second RBI of the year.
Oh, this would have been the best play that we've seen this weekend. Jadlyn Alchin giving it everything that she had in left field. Corby Otis hitting it so well. Had it in her glove and just pops out when her body hits the grass.
Yeah, great effort. Gets the Blaze on the board, and they're still batting with 2 on, 2 outs. Without a Gold. Oh, 2. Alston Spa, New York. That's in upstate New York. Ground ball towards the middle and into center field. Around third. Here comes the next runner for the plate, and in with a slide. Klingler scores. On a Gold with her second RBI of the year, and the Blaze have come right back and tied the game at 2.
Okay, rookies. Corby Otis on a Gold. First year as professionals, and they're getting it done. RBI singles. And all of the hits so far that we're seeing from the Blaze, the righties, have been on the left side of the field. Raylene Chaffin has been working the inner half, the arm side, and taking a pitch. Look at Anna Gold. She's calling Klingler safe. It's a huge answer. This is the team that needs this win. They do not want to go home without a W, and they know how they have been producing offensively. It has not been an issue. It's just maybe been a little bit more urgency for them to score early, I think, than the late inning heroics that we saw yesterday. I'm sure they talked about that going into today. Like, hey, how can we take that spark that we had in the 6th and 7th inning of the games yesterday and show up in the first and kind of answer what the Talons have been doing?
Lisa Urtez is the DP. Takes a first pitch strike from Chaffin. One for 7 combined in the 2 games yesterday for Urtez, and that's popped up. Pitcher wants it, and Chaffin makes the catch. A little minor collision with Vidales, but the side retired. So the Blaze come right back and hold serve by getting 2 of their own in the bottom of the first, and we're tied after 1. The Athletes Unlimited Softball League, sponsored by Nike. And on this Father's Day, we say happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Some great views. Hannah Flippen and John Flippen. Raylene Chaffin, Edmund Chaffin, her dad. Happy Father's Day, Edmund. Charlie's Palacios, Francisco Palacios. He's getting a lot of Father's Day greetings today from the softball world. Francisco Palacios, father of Charlize. Sachel as well. Happy Father's Day from here in Chattanooga.
Kind of wish we could go back in time and tell all those dads that, you know, those little kiddos that they're with are professional athletes.
By the way, we saw the gentleman with the shoot yeah hat that lost nachos. It wasn't popcorn, actually, I found out. So they replaced the nachos for him.
Wait, everything is a lie. He definitely had popcorn.
Did he?
Yes,
okay.
right?
I'm getting conflicting reports, but they brought nachos. So
right.
There's the nachos that they replaced him with.
Maybe that's considered an upgrade in concessions. I don't know.
Ooh, that clipped. Romero's going to take her base. If you're asking me personally, yes, I would say nachos are a little bit of an upgrade because you got cheese involved with that as well. And
I prefer popcorn, but
they're both ballpark staples.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my facts straight. He definitely had popcorn. The popcorn was what spilled everywhere, but then they replaced the popcorn with nachos.
Okay.
So maybe they asked him, hey, do you want popcorn again, or would you rather have, you pick anything you want, a snack bar?
we're here to please. So, especially on Father's Day.
Well, they did a replay in between innings, and the fans in the stands were just loving it.
Olchin, yeah, Gold breaking towards second. We're going to have obstruction as well. The runner's going to head for the plate and will be in safely. So Romero was going to take a chance anyway because she had contact with Gold in between second and third. And so she got waved around third base just to take a chance here. Let's watch the play in full.
Yeah, this is just aggressive base running from the Talons. This was a hit and run. And so Sid Romero, she was on her horse at first base. Jalen Olchin just trying to put the ball on the ground. You can see Romero. She's watching out of the corner of her eye to make sure the ball is down. You can see right there the obstruction on Anna Gold at shortstop. And so you could also see that third base coach Howard Dobson was waving Romero around. That's smart. You see that call, you take a chance. If she's out at home plate, only thing that they can really do is either allow her, say, hey, obstruction, in our judgment, we think that you would have still had an easy score at home, or put her back at third.
So just like that, the Talons go back in front and have the top of the order up. And Sarah Sacco guides one out towards right center field as Andrews makes the catch, tagging, and good throw to third. One hopper. Klingler's able to knock down, late tag put on, and now Olchin's at third base with one out. Sacco flies out to Andrews in center for the second time.
Yeah, productive outs, the name of the game. That was a great throw from center, Aaliyah.
There's Charlize Palacios, and she'll take her base. The second hit by pitch of the inning, so no shortage of the free passes today like yesterday.
Well, very early in this game, but every free pass so far has scored. The two in the first, the back-to-back walks to Palacios and Ali Aguilar, both came around to score, and then Sid Romero, who started this inning off with a hit by pitch, comes around to score. Going inside with the rise and knocked off the Evo shield.
Midfield shortens up with runners at the corners, one out. Ali Aguilar takes an off-speed strike one. There's a look at the base runners. You got Olchin at third, Palacios at first. Middle infielders playing in as well. Aguilar, the recipient of one of those walks in the first inning, and scored. Ocasio with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. She has now walked 2 and hit 2 in an inning and a third of work.
Infield for Blaze is crunched in pretty tight, especially left side, knowing the speed that Jalen Olchin has.
Way high, and another deep count as it goes to 3-2. Well, instead of ball 4, that's a hit by pitch. 3 hit by pitches in the inning. What would have been ball 4 there?
I would say it's on one pitch in particular, but it's not. It has been on the rise, on the drop, lefties and righties. Before it was Romero and Palacios, who are both right-handed hitters. So Ali Aguilar, the first lefty, Ocasio trying to go in tight. Ball just getting away.
Cara Dill's come out to talk with the battery here, and Hit by pitch began the inning, an Alchin hit. Sacco fly ball to center was caught, but a productive out, advancing the runner. And now since then, back-to-back hit by pitches. And E Lemley has gotten up in the bullpen now. Seen her a couple of times already yesterday. Lemley. Always got that smile on her face. Right now, Ocasio would like to have something to smile about. She just hasn't really found a rhythm here yet to start this game.
She's really been wanting that outside pitch, whether it's inside to lefties or away to righties. I would just throw it again. Even if you don't get the call, stay consistent with it.
Out to right field on a line, and Kowalik had her reach up over her head there to grab that. Brings in another run. RBI for Vidales, second for her. The Talons have that 2-run lead back quickly here now in the top of the second. Here's Flippen, his 2-run single in the first inning started the scoring for the Talons. Bouncy ball out to short. Gold goes the short way and kind of handcuffed Leach, but she's able to corral it, and the force out ends the inning, but not before the Talons pick up 2 more on only 1 hit in that inning.
R Chaffin, this is my player profile. So I've recently got on a Freedom McFadden kick for my books. I love the psychological thrillers. You think you know what's going to happen and then you don't. So we're trying to have a little book club so we can swap back and forth. My cat's name is Mr. And what I love about him is he is super cuddly. I mean, he is like not one to like bite or scratch. He just wants you to pet on him and play with him and give him snacks. I think my favorite emoji is the one with the smiling sunglasses. It just is like super chill and like vibes, so I like it. And that's a wrap.
Nicely done, R Chaffin. You spent 3 seasons at LSU, this past year at Mississippi State from Bossier City, all SEC second team, and a cancer survivor. She was diagnosed with thyroid cancer in 2024, so.
Yeah, just an amazing story, and having a career year as a senior and finished top 3 in the SEC in wins, innings pitched, and strikeouts.
She's back to the circle with that 2-run lead again. 4-2 Talons. 8, 9, and 1 hitters come up for the Blaze as the catcher Taylor Edwards is up. Taylor off to a 3 for 13 start. Happy Father's Day to Dad Brian. His daughter Taylor and her number 12 jersey retired at her alma mater, Nebraska, last year. All-time school home run leader for the Cornhuskers as well. Hit 54 in college. It's out towards shallow right center field, and the center fielder Sacco calls off Aguilar. And the leadoff batter is retired. Definitely got some Mississippi State fans here. That's Sacco and Chaffin. Plenty for them to cheer about here in Chattanooga this weekend.
Yeah, pitching coach Taryn Mowat was here.
Yes.
Through the rain delays. So she was trying to stick it out.
On Friday?
Yeah, support her girl in the circle and Sierra in center.
So here's Aaliyah Andrews. It's interesting to watch her at bats yesterday. Always a threat to lay one down.
Love that changeup to a slapper. If you can locate that off speed at the right spot, slappers, it can be really tough on them. They're moving through the box. They have so much speed. They're looking for something away and hard.
Take strike 2, 1-2.
And it just makes the next pitch look that much better, that much firmer. Speeding up the eyes, slowing down the eyes.
See the 4 hits yesterday, 3 in game 1, 1 in game 2. 3 were bunt hits, and the other was an infield hit. So the ball didn't leave the infield, and yet she had 4 hits.
That's why you see Sydney Romero at third base. She is constantly moving around, trying to figure out what Aaliyah is doing, whether she's slapping, chop slapping, drag bunting.
As she has worked it to a full count at 3-2. Check swing foul. Kind of looked like she was thinking, I really didn't want to swing at that one. Yep. I think it was going to be out of the zone.
If you're Chaffin, you've got to use that pitch for something low. You have Andrews, her eyes are elevated, whether that's a changeup, maybe that's something in tight on the knees. A setup pitch.
And there's strike 3 on that outside corner. Chaffin records her first strikeout of the game.
Yeah, a little backdoor curve here. Starting it away and breaking it over the back corner of the plate. Right around the river, too close to take.
Aubrey Leach back to the top of the order for the Blaze. Aubrey with a walk, first plate appearance. When they introduced the teams prior to the game today, Aubrey Leach got a really nice hand. I'm sure plenty of Tennessee Lady Vol fans in the crowd today.
Yeah, it's really fun when the players are announced. The PA announces where they went to college, and you know that always gets a little ears to perk up a little bit. Ooh, University of Tennessee, let's go. And everyone just knows who Aubrey Leach is anyway, but it's just fun to hear all of the colleges get announced as everyone's going through the lineups.
Yeah, no question the city has embraced AUSL this weekend. There's a strike on 3-0. It's a great story in the local newspaper this morning about a lady bringing her daughter, who her first name is Kalani, and she named her daughter after Kalani Ricketts, and she got Kalani Ricketts and her daughter Kalani together yesterday. There is ball 4, and you can imagine how warm that interaction was, because Kalani Ricketts was obviously all encouraging and very excited to meet her namesake. There's Kalani Ricketts. But a great story, and they had that in the local Chattanooga paper today. And just another one of the great things that's going on here at the ballpark this weekend.
Yeah, Kalani's a mama too, so she knows what that's all about. She's going to take the time for the young girl. If, you know, mom comes up to you and tells you that story, you bet Kalani's going to be all about it. But yeah, the fans have been so great this weekend. There's a couple of faces that I'm starting to kind of notice, especially through the rain delays. We've seen a lot of the same faces, you know, first to the stadium. Everyone's kind of hustling to get their seats, get the positioning, whether they want to be, you know, up high in the shade or down low right behind home plate.
Kowalik up with 2 outs, and there goes Leach, and a bouncing ball out to second base, and Aguilar just takes the out at first, and the side is retired. So the Blaze get a base runner, but strand Leach, and they have now Left 3. We have played 2 here in Chattanooga. That's the Talons with a 2-run lead. So they finished things down in Sulphur, Louisiana yesterday. We'll finish up here in Chattanooga today. After this is what is ahead. They're going to get all 4 teams together in Wichita. Starts on Tuesday with a doubleheader. The 4 teams again on Wednesday from Wilkins Stadium on the Wichita State campus as well. So broadcast information, as you see, is available. You can check online on theausl.com where you can catch that as well. And the inaugural season of the AUSL, which features the Bandits, the Blaze, the Talons, and Volts playing across the nation this summer. You don't want to miss the action. You can visit theausl.com and buy your tickets today. AUSL, this is legendary.
Yeah, a lot of softball this week. Shout out to the Bandits. How about a series sweep?
Man, they're rolling, aren't they?
Man.
They look strong. Off to a 5-1 start. You know, which makes this, you mentioned for the Blaze, I mean, really big for them here in week 2 to come out of here with a win and be 2-4. You don't want to be 1-5 when the first place team's 5-1 6 games in. And you're trying to be one of those last 2 teams standing, and you head to Tuscaloosa at the end of next month and play for a title.
That's kind of the name of the game in, you know, college softball. You would always talk about, you know, strong conferences like the SEC, the ACC, where you just don't want to get swept. You just want to take games and then play your chances, try and get hot late in the season. But, you know, in the standings, you just need to take a couple games.
Jacobsen pops out to Anna Gold. So Ocasio is able to get the leadoff batter. Begin the top of the 3rd inning here from Chattanooga. Ellis swinging at the first pitch and hits a drive deep to right field near the line, and it goes out. Well, some have called her the Barry Bonds of softball, and Bree Ellis has just hit her first career pro home run.
Only needed 1 pitch in the at-bat. It kind of felt like she went to the plate saying, I am hitting a home run on this pitch right here. We've seen her hit a couple of singles and spray the field, but this is what she is known for. Takes a pitch, a ball out. Not a bad pitch from Ocasio. You can see her eyes tracking it down, seeing if it had enough. It did. It kept carrying. It was just whether it was going to stay fair or foul. And a big swing from the player of the year.
Romero hit by pitch for the 2nd time. Take another look at the home run in the corner here. Yeah, got out by what, maybe 4 or 5 feet?
Yeah. Big Selly at home. Here you go, rookie. Someone go get that ball.
So Bree Ellis, after 74 home runs as a collegian, it's her first as a pro. Jalen Alchin singled, scored in her first plate appearance. You know, for Bree Ellis, the power is obvious. I mean, for Bree Ellis, that was a soft swing, so to speak, and it still carried out opposite field down the line.
No, you're so right. It's always so impressive when you see opposite field home runs. Seen a lot of pull home runs this weekend, and especially not only opposite field, but like straight down the line. That is seeing a ball so deep and just trusting your power.
So the 8th-team home run now for the Talons, which equals the Bandits total through 6 games, and we still got a lot of softball to play here for the Talons today in Chattanooga. Count in Alchin's favor at 3 balls and a strike. She had a base hit to left. And first at bat, and jumps back from ball 4 inside. Now you watch Alicia Ocasio having some issues here. And Kalani Ricketts has gotten up in the bullpen for the Blaze. And Alicia's just never looked comfortable yet in this game, and she's tried to keep the poker face, but you can definitely tell with a little bit of the body language she's not real happy with what she's seeing right now.
Yeah, the 7 free passes, just uncharacteristic, and the hit by pitches, a bit of an issue.
Well, Lemley had been warming up. Ricketts was just in the bullpen, so Lemley's already hot. So Ocasio is going to come off, and Emma Lemley's going to be the new pitcher for the Blaze. We'll tell you about Emma when we come back. So Ocasio has come out, and just as we went to break there, Blaze have challenged, saying that the runner Romero left first early on what was ball 4 to Alchin. So this call is under review. Here's a look at it.
No. And she was incredibly late.
Yes, if anything.
Blaze won this challenge yesterday. It was a pivotal challenge in the 7th inning. Test, test.
Let's get him a hot mic.
Yeah. Should we tell them? I could yell it out my window.
Yeah, well, what we saw, it's just obviously going to be no call.
After video review, the call on the field is confirmed. The runner is safe. That'll be the Blaze first challenge of the game.
It's an interesting one. You usually don't see that on a walk on ball 4, where they.
I've never seen it on a walk, actually.
Very unusual. So they lose the challenge. 1 left. And now let's tell you more about Emma Lemley.
Yeah, has pitched well so far in the AUSL, the rookie coming out of Virginia Tech. There's a heavy dose of rise balls.
Sacco check swing foul. Sierra's hit 2 balls in the air to center field, both caught by Andrews today. Sacco not real happy that the ball found her bat for a foul and strike 1.
You can feel the change in velocity from Ocasio to Lemley. Ocasio low to mid 60s. Lemley mid to upper 60s. A lot of upspin. Will climb the ladder.
Well, it's hit towards left center field. A little longer run this time, but Aralia doesn't have to take flight. On the move, Andrews makes the catch in left center field. 2 gone.
Well, Sierra Sacco just needs to hit it to someone other than Aaliyah Andrews. The wrong outfielder. Good swing from Sacco and a better catch out in center from one of the best at that position. Run a long way, taking away a double in the gap, doesn't even have to leave her feet.
Leah Andrews, of course, all the great highlights we've seen from her, especially when she was in college at LSU, and the great catches, leaving her feet. She just covers so much ground. I mean, those strides when she gets moving, just eat up yardage. That's popped up on the infield. Daniel Gibson Horton wants it, and the first baseman makes the catch to retire the side. But Bree Ellis hits her first home run as a pro, and the Talons do add to the lead.
A big swing. Arkansas, great All-American Player of the Year. Claws up, big celebration at home. Love to see it.
Dear Dad.
Dear Dad.
Dear Dad.
Dad.
Dad, thank you for always showing up for me and being the most supportive person in the world.
Dad, thank you for being my #1 fan and for showing me your nonstop love and support all these years.
Thank you for the endless hours catching me on the bucket, for always pouring into me and helping me become the best pitcher I am today.
For always being my biggest supporter as both a player and a coach, and for always wanting me to achieve more.
Thank you for all the long nights, all the long days of you driving me to travel ball practice. I think it's paying off.
I thank you for always being there for me whenever I need you, and I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, happy Father's Day. Can't add more than that. That's awesome. Happy Father's Day from Chattanooga on a special Sunday here in Tennessee.
Yeah, there's a lot of dads and daughters here. Where else would you want to be?
Exactly. The perfect place to be on Father's Day at the ballpark. Fathers and daughters, fathers and sons all enjoying themselves at Frost Stadium in Chattanooga. Glad you could spend part of your Father's Day with us. With Arizona Athletic Hall of Famer Kinsey Fowler, I'm Mark Neely, our terrific crew from here in Chattanooga, wrapping up a 3-game series. Talons have won the first 2 yesterday as part of a doubleheader on Saturday. And they are up 3 as the Blaze bat here. Home half of the third, and Bailey Klingler at the plate. Bailey hits one deep but fouled on the left field side. We're going to mic Bailey up next inning, so we're going to get an opportunity to chat with her today. I don't know if there's a lot of great candidates we can put the microphone on during the game, but the way she's swinging the bat right now and playing to start the season, she's as great a candidate today as anybody.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions that need some answers.
Oh yeah, I'm right there with you.
Like, why are you hitting so well? I mean, obviously, if anybody followed her career at Washington, she was a Player of the Year finalist, one of those hitters that just would never strike out, was always putting bat on ball. But to me, it's just so impressive to come out so early. A lot of times you'll see hitters just trying to get their timing down and figure out the pitchers, figure out their new team, especially here with the new league. And Bailey Klingler has just said, no, I'm good. I don't need to get used to anything. I'm going to see ball, hit ball.
Hits that towards right center field. She's going to find some open green there and has another hit. She is 13 for 21 to begin the season.
And so for pitchers, you're watching her film, you're watching her hit all over the field. You're trying to figure out where to pitch her. Should we jam her in? Nope, she hit a single down the line in her last at bat. Okay, let's try away. All right, then she just sees it deep and hits it to the gap. That is so frustrating as a pitcher.
Danielle Gibson Horton flied to center her first time up. Leadoff batter aboard for the second time in 3 innings for the Blaze. Looking to cut into this 3-run deficit. Big deep breath for Danielle. 2-homer game yesterday in game 2. One of the first player in league history to do that. Danielle Gibson Horton, also one of the pro players that's a mother, had her son Whitley in November of 2024. So her husband, Mally, happy Father's Day. And now she puts one into right center field. Quickly cut off by Sierra Sacco, and stopping at second is Klingler. Couple hits dropped into the alley in right center, and 2 on, nobody out for the Blaze.
I like the pairing in the lineup for the Blaze of Bailey Klingler and Danielle Gibson. It's the righty and then followed with the lefty, but Gibson Horton maybe has a little bit more power than Bailey Klingler, who's kind of just been spraying the field, hitting for average, but that's a tough 3-4 hole in a lineup in this league, as you're going to see.
And it's going to bring the head coach of the Talons out, Howard Dobson. Gets his infielders together there in the circle. Yeah, again, those weren't two squared up balls by any the imagination at all. But I mean, if you're Howard Dobson, what are you saying here?
Probably talking situation and making sure that Charlize Palacios, who's calling the pitches for R Chaffin, let's know what the game plan is going against a righty and Corby Otis. Where do we need to be shifted over a couple of steps defensively? Are we going to try and go inside and feed the left side of our defense, feed Hannah Flippen, maybe turn a double play, or middle infielders, are we going to be back? There's a lot of just situational things that go on, but it all starts with the pitch calling. So getting everybody together, what's coming in, and then where do we need to be defensively?
Klingler and Gibson Horton on base, 2 on, nobody out. Talons top half of the third. Ball went to Corby Otis, who had a base hit to left field first time up. That was a sinking line drive that Alchin made a headlong diving attempt on. Had it in the glove for just a fraction of a second before it came out. Turned into an RBI hit for Corby. Chaffin coming up on 60 pitches here with nobody out in the top of the third, or bottom of the third, I should say. Will that get out of play? It will indeed. Yeah. Grab that souvenir.
Oh, love. She was thinking, do I have to give it back? And just got the confirmation. No, you get to keep it. If anything, we're going to come take a picture of you with that souvenir. We've seen a lot of happy young softball fans run down those foul balls.
Yeah, it's fun to see the excitement and the energy the young players bring to these events. Chop to third, force out there, step on out to second, close out. Well, Romero took a couple of steps, able to force Klingler in a close play. Daniel Gibson Horton does, of course, most players, and they're like, yeah, let's challenge that. But in real time, what'd you think?
The Blaze are challenging the call at second base. That play is under video review.
Well, Gibson Horton is a coach herself at Arkansas. In fact, actually coached Bree Ellis last season. So kind of making a little coach's challenge, even though she is a player. I think she gets in there.
Yes, I agree. And I think there's enough on this. You know, maybe that right foot was in the air before it came down on the base.
Oh, man, this is a lot closer than I thought. It's because of when she hits the dirt with her slide, but her foot doesn't get to the base.
All right, with the call on the field being out, you have to have conclusive evidence to overturn the call. And the angle we showed just prior to this, you see the right foot actually lifts up as it gets towards the base.
And to me, that's key. Her foot kind of touches the top of the base versus the very front half, the low half. I think maybe still safe, but I'm definitely not as sure as I was.
But what's important, obviously, is what's on the video and what the individual in charge of review is looking at here. It has to be indisputable video evidence to overturn this call of out on the field. Did we see that?
Field is upheld. That will be the Blaze second challenge of the game.
All right, well, they've used both. So I think the video reviewer saw what we saw from that third base side angle where the foot, Danielle's foot kind of came up.
Yep.
And then came down on the, as you mentioned, the top of the base instead of the front edge of the base. So the Blaze burned their second challenge here already in the third inning. Anna Gold is up with 2 outs. By the way, that's the second double play for the Talons this year.
Well, what a heads-up double play from Sydney Romero.
Yeah.
The easier double play would have been 3-1, but she chose to go to maybe the slower runner out of Corby Otis and Danielle Gibson-Horton, and then also you're keeping a runner off of scoring position at second base. It's just so heads up.
So 5 unassisted on the put out of Klingler, and then 5-4 over to Aguilar to get Gibson. And that ball's hit well to center field by Gold, and back on the warning track. It is caught by Sierra Sacco. Hit about to the deepest part of the ballpark here. And the Blaze come up empty and strand a runner. We have played 3. When we come back, we'll have our opportunity to chat with the Blazes. Bailey Klingler, the hottest hitter going right now in the AAUSL. Welcome back to Chattanooga, Tennessee. This game going to the top of the 4th, 3rd and final game of the series. Talons leading the Blaze 5-2. This nice crowd once again at Frost Stadium in Chattanooga. The Talons come up with a 3-run lead, and will bring the 3, 4, 5 hitters up here. We'll get you Bailey Klingler here as fast as we can. Just a little tweak with her earpiece we're taking care of, and we'll get the hottest hitter in the AUSL. Sounds like we got Bailey. Bailey, we're live. You got Mark and Kinsey here?
Yeah, I hear everything.
You hear everything?
Yeah.
Cool.
She's good to go. Hey, how's it
Bailey.
going?
Yeah, Lim.
We got Bailey. All right. Bailey, thanks so much, man. Appreciate you putting the earpiece on.
Of course, I'm excited to talk to y'all.
We're excited to have you. We get you settle in there at third base as we get going here with Aguilar up.
Yeah, Lim. Yes! Good, Lim.
So
That's a good spot.
let me start the questioning, Bailey, with what's gotten into you offensively to start this year. It's been fun to watch.
Thank you. I feel like I'm back in my groove. Just trying to figure out what professional softball looks like for me a little bit last year. And just sticking to my plan, kind of remembering my roots and just loosening up and just having no plan. I just see the ball and hit the ball these days, so.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been calling you a bad ball hitter because you're swinging at balls that are 2, 3 balls off of the plate, but getting it done with singles and doubles is, are you comfortable swinging at pretty much anything?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like if the pitch is somewhere over the white, I'm swinging and I'm trying to hammer it. So, yeah, it's been fun to just kind of loosen up and have some fun with my teammates. Yeah, Lim, good spot, bud.
Hey, Bailey, you alluded to the fact playing last year, your first pro year. How big a help has that been for you now in year 2?
It's been huge. I mean, just picking all the vets' brains and once again, just learning the game. I feel like every season you level up as a professional. And just learning the little things like situations, what pitches are probably coming, what they're trying to do, but also not worrying too much about their plan and knowing that they have to deal with me and deal with our offense. So I think it's just mental. It's a mental thing. Yeah, Lim. Oh.
Lemley's 3-2 pitch grazed her, so instead of ball 4, that'll be a hit by pitch.
So what? Here we go. Got you, bud.
Hey, Bailey, it is Father's Day. I know your dad, Jimmy, played quarterback at Houston. You had Uncle David that played there and in the NFL. You want to say anything out to the Klingler crew today on Father's Day?
I love y'all so much. Thank you for always supporting me. And softball dads make the world go around, man. They're always in it. They're always locked in. And we wouldn't be able to do what we do without y'all. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. We appreciate y'all.
Do you have a favorite memory of, you as a youngster with your dad growing up?
Oh my gosh, he's just always so willing to play catch, hit extra with me. One of my favorite memories was recently in Mexico. He came out and, he came out and I don't know, it was just being out of the country and being away from my family, being able to see him. He was the first of my family to come out and visit. So it's really cool, especially the older I get, just like a new appreciation and like a fresh appreciation of all of our parents and what they do for us. So yeah, I always get a little bit emotional whenever they come these days. You don't think about it when you're a youngster, but then you grow up and you're like, oh my gosh, y'all sacrifice so much for us. And yeah, I get emo every time.
Ball and 2 strikes on Vidales. Hey, with your family's roots in the game of football, how much did you spend time? I know obviously a lot of times at ball fields. So by the way, we're getting to look at your dad, Jimmy, now with a photograph. But how much time did you spend at football stadiums?
A lot. One sec. Okay. So what?
Dallas with the base hit to left field, 2 runners on.
Yeah, a lot of football, understanding the game at a young age with him coaching now, but yeah, you got me on track. But really it was a lot of softball, and my brother played football too, but just a lot of sports in general. And I'm the youngest of 3, so just being the competitive little sister, I wanted to be better than my siblings at everything, but a lot of ball growing up. Yeah, Lim, here you go. Yeah, bud.
Well, you have a little bit of defensive action here, so I think we're just going to listen in to what is around you. You've got to force it third.
All right, thank you.
All right, let's listen in.
But it's a good pitch, Lim. Yeah, bud. Yeah, Tay. Yeah, Anna got me. Yes. See you. You keep working, bud.
Hannah Flippen's one of those tough power hitters who has the ability to drop a drag. Just have to scout her, play third base.
Into left field, lead runner's going to stop. Aguilar puts the brakes on and the bases are loaded now.
Here we go.
For the Talons, nobody out. Base hit for Flippen.
So what? Here we go. Got you. Yeah, 4-4, yeah.
So instead of a bunt, Flippen gets something a little bit up, and we talked to her yesterday. We know Hannah Flippen likes the ball up in the zone, able to get her hands there, and now bases loaded. Tough spot here defensively.
Here you go.
See the Blaze bring the infield in tight. Jacobsen.
Here we go.
I like that spot there. Set up the at-bat. E Lemley's best pitch is her rise, so if she can set that up with her curve, she's right back to it.
Yes, Slim. Bases are loaded. Let's see those claws in the air.
Jacobsen 1 for 2 so far. What a play by Otis.
Yes! Yes, Corby! That's huge! Oh my gosh, I have chills.
Well, did you hear Bailey Klingler talking to her through that whole double play?
Let's go.
She was telling Corby, the rookie in left field, room, #1, letting her know that she had a ton of space, and then you could hear her throw her out. So the urgency was there from Otis, and just a gun down to home plate. Taylor Edwards finishing it off with the tag. Saw the double play on the other side for the Talons, but man, that double play was fun.
Yes, good spot.
Yes, it was good stuff. Corby Otis just into foul territory at the catch for the first out, and an absolute beautiful one-hop throw.
Good work, Lim. Here we go.
Right to Edwards.
Yes, good spot. That's a good spot, Lim.
Got Brew Ellis up, Brew homered down the right field line. Last time up, good look at Corby Otis. Trying to get the Blaze out of this jam.
Yes. Right here, this one. One pitch, here we go. Yeah, Lim, here you go, bud.
Well, first base was open, so a 4-pitch walk to Ellis reloads the bases with 2 outs.
Yeah, you work for this one. Those are good spots. Okay.
Sydney Romero coming up. It's a conversation with head coach Howard Dobson. Hey, while we got a second, Bailey, let me ask you about that play again with Corby. What you're seeing as you're watching that ball sail over your head down the left field line and lining up Corby.
Yeah, I think, oh gosh, sorry, 1 sec. Yeah, I think just giving her the confidence to throw her out. I mean, I've seen her arm and what she can do. She's a beast, so I don't have to do much. She's doing all the hard work, but that was really cool. That's it. Yeah, Lim, here you go, bud. Yes.
I know you were just a rookie a couple of seasons ago, so how has it been from your vantage point to watch? You have a couple of good ones, one to your left and then one obviously behind you in Corby Otis. How has it been to watch them progress from last week to this week?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, they're pros. They're really fun. They're like little sponges. They soak up everything, which is really cool. And they're just professionals. I mean, they're coming fresh out of college, ready to go, so that fires me up. And they're great teammates as well. Yeah, Lamb, here you go, bud.
What was it like in that dugout yesterday when you guys were down 11 and came back and tied the game?
Oh my gosh, that was gritty. That was gritty. And the coolest part is it was like there was an unspoken energy. Like there wasn't a crazy pep talk or anything. It was just, all right, we know what we have to do. Let's get after it. And I mean, yesterday we put up a lot of runs and just stringing them along and figuring out the missing pieces. Not the missing pieces. We have all the pieces, but just figuring out the best fit. And I think we look good. We're setting ourselves up nicely, and once we get going, I think we're going to be a force. Yeah, Lamb, here you go.
Taylor Edwards took that one off her body, that foul ball, so they gave her a little extra time. She's ready to go.
Get it, Lim.
Lemley gets out of the bases loaded jam.
Let's go, come on. Let's go. Yes, Corb.
Bailey Klingler, thanks so much for the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. See ya.
Bailey Klingler, we appreciate her wearing the headset here amid the action from Chattanooga. Bases were loaded, nobody out, and Kinsey Lemley gets through it.
Big rise ball and a big swing. I loved hearing Bailey Klingler celebrating with her rookie in the circle. It's a big K.
Well, we're happy to see sun in Chattanooga this weekend, getting some of it right now. The Talons have a 5-2 lead going to the bottom of the fourth. Again, thanks to Bailey Klingler for miking up. And I know we're in the booth and fans are at home, but I almost feel like you're on the field with her and you feel those emotions. It's really cool. And I hope everybody at home or watching wherever experience that as well.
Yeah, if you're a youngster and you're watching, you know, those mid-action mic'd up moments that we have every single time we broadcast an AUSL game, there's so much that you can pick up on just from listening 30 seconds to Bailey Klingler, who is constantly talking to everyone around her. You could hear her motivating Emma Lemley. You could hear, even after the walk, it was some positive, you know, so what, move on to the next pitch, and that's what it's all about. She's constantly moving around in the infield, and then, of course, the double play. How cool was that?
Yeah, that was awesome. That was really cool. With the rookie Corby Otis making a tremendous play to get him through the inning. After the Talons had bases loaded, nobody out. So Kaylee Harding batting here. Blaze bat here in the bottom of the inning. Harding comes off the bench. Homecoming for her. She's, even though it's went to Florida State, but she's from Tennessee. Murfreesboro, which is up the highway from here towards Nashville. Played all 4 of her years at Florida State. Now a grad assistant this past year at Mercer. It was a big inning, the top half for the Blaze to get through that down 3. It looked like it could get really ugly in a hurry. The bases loaded, nobody out.
I feel like offensively, they really need a response here. Put up 2 in the first after the Talons had put up 2 of their own. But since then, they have had a couple of opportunities, had back-to-back base hits in the last inning, but just nothing to show for it.
That's ball 4 to Kaylee Harding, who, by the way, was batting in the DP spot. Urtez there, so first plate appearance for Kaylee, and she's on with a leadoff walk in the Blaze 4th. That'll put the bat in the hands of the Blaze catcher, Taylor Edwards. Taylor flied to center first time up. You know, these catches are so tough. We're talking with Bailey Klingler in the last half inning. I didn't make big mention of it, but there was a foul ball that caught the body of Edwards in an unprotected spot, man, but she just shook that right off. You can see the plate umpire, Chris Neighbors, talking to her like, hey, you need a little time here? And she's like, no, let's go, let's go.
And Taylor Edwards is one of the most veteran players in the AUSL League. Her and Kaylani Ricketts have been playing professionally for over a decade.
Whacks one to center field. Sacco's been busy out there, and right as she gets to the front of the warning track at dead center field, runs that one down. Second time Edwards has hit one that wound up in the glove of Sierra Sacco. So 1 out, the 9-hole hitter up, Aaliyah Andrews, which always shifts the infield defense in tight at the corners and up the middle. Looks at a first pitch strike. Aaliyah fanned her first time up. Chaffin gets ahead quickly here. No balls and 2 strikes. What have you seen from R Chaffin through these first almost 4 innings?
And I feel like she's used her changeup well. Hasn't thrown it a ton. It is one of her better pitches, if not her best pitch, but she's been saving it for the right moments.
Oh. Into left field, base hit. Andrews ready for that and reaches base. It's her 5th hit of the series. The first one, though, that's left the infield.
Well, it's such a little thing, but every hit that Raylan Chaffin has given up has just been a single. And in this league, okay, I can live with that, right? These are hitters that we've seen all weekend long leave the ballpark, big swings, doubles. And so limiting those hits to just singles, letting her defense play behind her.
Yeah, 6 hits for the Blaze. As it says, they're all singles. Howard Dobson out in the circle. Blaze powwow as well. Blaze have a couple runners on in the top of the order coming up.
He's probably asking Sydney Romero, hey, that double play you turned a couple of innings ago, what do you think? Want to do it again?
Can you try that?
Yeah, what did we throw here?
They got Harding on base and Andrews. Good speed on the bases with Aubrey Leach, who's been up twice but doesn't have an official at bat as she's walked twice. Blaze batting last to the 4th. They need a win today to get out of Tennessee with a win in this series.
Already seen one sweep this weekend with the Bandits sweeping the Volt down in Louisiana.
Well, watching the Bandits, they've come out of the gate just clicking. From game 1, really.
Yeah, last weekend I was calling the Blaze versus the Volt, and Volts took 2 out of 3 and looked so solid offensively and had an amazing performance from Rachel Garcia out of the gates on opening day. I did not expect a sweep from the Bandits. It's impressive.
You know, 4 of the teams in the AUSL get together in Wichita this coming week on Tuesday, Wednesday. Doubleheaders each day. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Leach. Oh.
I love this. That is a DIY besties necklace right there.
Connected. Right back to the screen.
Are those press credentials that they're like,
I was wondering where they got the lanyard. That's
the
pretty,
lanyard, yeah.
Got the official AUSL lanyards. And you see they've locked them together.
Amazing.
So where one goes, the other goes. And there's a Father's
Could be
Day.
dangerous, honestly, though. Like, what if a foul ball's coming their way? Popcorn could be flying. You weren't with us in the first inning, or was it the second inning? It was pretty early.
It was early. It was first, I believe,
you will not understand that reference, so just ignore me.
The gentleman in the first row lost his popcorn. There he is. We can identify him with the hat and maybe the cheese on his cheek that he got because they gave him some free nachos after that. So a walk has loaded the bases here for the Blaze. 3rd walk in the game for Aubrey Leach.
She didn't even need to bring her bat up there.
They got the tying runs on base here for the Blaze. And loaded with 1 out for Kowalik. Chaffin gets that outside corner for strike 1. Kayla's reached on a fielder's choice, grounded out.
We're seeing Kayla Kowalik power up here. We've seen her drop a drag, go to her slap, but bases loaded situation where she needs to be able to put a ball out to the outfield.
That is foul, just in foul territory where it was scooped up by Vidales. With the bases loaded in this series, the Blaze 3 for 6 as a team. Ten base runners, 6 hits. Two balls and 2 strikes on Kowalik. Bottom of the 4th, Blaze with a chance to cut into this 3-run Talons lead.
See Kowalik there, even with 2 strikes, trying to elevate a little bit, get something in the air. Last thing that you want is something off the end of the bat in the infield, where we've already seen the Talons defense turn a double play.
And that's going to take it to a full count. Nowhere to put Kowalik. Harding, Andrews, and Leach all on base for the Blaze, and a big 3-2 pitch from Raylan Chaffin. We'll do it again. Kowalik 1 for 9 in the series now with the 0 for 2 so far today. And she'll get an RBI on a bases loaded walk, and it's a 2-run game, 5-3. Third walk of the inning, handed out by Chaffin. It was right at 90 pitches, and looking like she has hit the end of the line for now, as Megan Faraimo is going to come out of the bullpen and take over in the circle for the Talons. Jacobsen makes the move to Faraimo. The Blaze are going to have the bases loaded with still only 1 out and a run in here now in the 4th.
Yeah, Talons have a loaded pitching staff, have a couple of aces, and Megan Faraimo, Montana Fouts. Saw them both get starts yesterday. Faraimo game 1, Montana in game 2. And it was kind of a interesting game for Megan yesterday. It was a game of 2 halves. You had the first half where she kind of dominated, and then the second half after the rain delay, which is why you saw that ERA that was very inflated at 11. And will be spinning the ball up with her rise, curve. And throws hard with the velocity. Can touch 70 miles an hour.
As she started game 1, as you alluded to, 3 1/3 innings total, and in game 2 came back at the end to close things out, win an inning, gave up a couple of earned runs. By the way, one thing I hadn't mentioned yet, with the 2 wins in the doubleheader yesterday for the Talons, Montana Fouts won 1 game and saved the other. So first time in AUSL history that a pitcher's had that happen on the same calendar day, where they got a win and a save on the same day.
Do we get credit for being the first doubleheader? Like, can we be a part of that history?
Yeah, I guess so. If you
We
wanna,
didn't plan to have a doubleheader.
no,
but
we did not.
first.
We would love to have played on Friday. There's Montana Fouts, who has made a lot of history through the years.
Yeah, there are still some stat categories that will be filled as the season goes on. Talked about Sierra Sacco hitting the first home run in AUSL history. Rachel Garcia had the first complete game.
So Faraimo comes on, inherits the bases loaded situation with a potential tying and now go-ahead run on base for the Blaze.
Well, making the pitching change because of who is at the plate and who's behind her. The 3-4 hitters for Blaze, Bailey Klingler, Danielle Gibson Horton, the 2 power bats. This is who head coach Elisa Goller needs at the plate right now.
Klingler sends it in the air to right field, and it hits it deep, and Bailey Klingler, a grand slam. On the first pitch from Faraimo, the smoking hot Klingler stays just that, with arguably her biggest hit of the season to give the Blaze the lead.
Man, set up perfectly. The hottest hitter in the league, hitting over 600. 600. And her, I'm sure the average is going up. I'm not very good at math, but I'm pretty sure when you hit a home run, your average goes up. My goodness, Bailey Klingler. We got to talk to her last inning and picked her brain a little bit about her approach and her game plan. And she said, I am free swinging. Don't really have a game plan. I am going up there knowing that I have put in the work and I have the ability to hit balls off of the plate. And that pitch was not a bad pitch from Megan Faraimo. It was a ball off of the plate, and she just put it on.
Well, I'll quote Bailey Klingler from the conversation we had last inning. I believe she said this: right now I'm see ball, hit ball.
Yes.
And that's exactly what she did on the first pitch from Faraimo. She had a 7 RBI game yesterday, so that set an AUSL single game record. She gets 4 with 1 swing.
We teed that up pretty well, talking about all the firsts in AUSL history. That's the first Grand Slam.
Bingo. That's a bouncy ball out to second base. Aguilar throws out Gibson Who. So let's go back and watch the history that was made here just a minute or two ago.
And watch this pitch location. Ball out, sees it so deep, and this is a hitter who has been spraying singles all over the field. And so how fitting is it that her team finally has the bases loaded, setting the table for her, and she's like, I can do this. Leaves the yard, 4 runs, and the lead.
Which, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the first time they've had the lead at any point in a game all weekend. Obviously, they came back from 11 runs down and tied it at 12 for the first game yesterday, but never actually had the lead in either of those 2 games.
Well, we were just talking about how R Chaffin had given up the 6 hits, but every hit was a single. They were just missing the big hit, the extra base hit the Blaze was offensively, and they got it.
Faraimo kind of whiffed on the stab up the middle, but a diving stop by Aguilar, but not in time to get Otis. Almost like a magic act. Megan Faraimo kind of put the glove where she thought it was going to be, and it went past her. Otis has her 2nd hit of the game. The 9th batter to come up in the inning is out of gold. Down the left field side, and that's called foul. Plate umpire has to make the call because with the runners on base, the third base umpire is pulled behind second. I don't know, it might have been an optical illusion to me. It looked like it landed right on the line, but we're not at the best angle to judge that. The plate umpire's got a better look.
Love this camera angle. It's coming right towards us. And
fair.
Yeah, hit chalk.
Yep.
I love Alchin right there. Yeah, foul. Absolutely. I'm right here. Foul.
That was awesome, by the way. That look.
Yep.
That was money right there. So let's see if the Talons can take advantage of a break here. So there's our little snoop that you see right down the line. So we bring out all the bells and whistles. The bells and whistles came in handy on that play. And I know that's a tough call for Chris Neighbors, the plate umpire, and with a 3-person crew, and you don't have the third base umpire in that situation down the line, it puts the plate umpire in a tougher position. And that's the right field, went in and now back, and it's over the head of Jacobsen around third, heading for the plate. Here comes Otis. She scores, and into third base goes out of goal. Blaze poured it on. They have scored a half dozen runs now here in the home half of the 4th.
Well, how impressive is it that Anna Gold, who thought she might have had a double down the left field line, goes opposite field? This just tells you how dialed in she is. And I know I was talking earlier about Bailey Klingler and Danielle Gibson, the 3-4 combo in the lineup for Blaze, but I am really loving Corby Otis and Anna Gold hitting around each other, the 2 rookies in the 5-6 spot. I feel like there's like that little competition era, and you know, you see a rookie in front of you get a base hit, you're like, yeah, okay, little confidence, pass that to me, I'm gonna do it as well. Our first professional season together as teammates. It's been fun to watch.
Kaylee Harding began the inning with a walk and scored, so she's up again. So what Anna Gold just did is she made that call down the third base line a moot point. Now granted, I know if you ask Caroline Jacobsen, she didn't take the best route to that ball. Came in initially, then went back, got over her head, but it kind of erased the call down the third base line.
Yeah, and you're looking at maybe a double versus a triple, hitting it to the opposite field. Has a ton of speed out of the right-handed batter's box.
That's a 3-0 count on Harding. Well, she puts one in the air to shortstop, and Flippen makes the catch. But 10 batters come up in the fourth inning for the Blaze, and they score 6 times. 4 on 1 swing. Faraimo's first pitch to Klingler went the other way.
First grand slam in AUSL history comes off of the bat of Bailey Klingler. No hotter hitter right now in the league. The biggest swing of the weekend for her team, the Blaze, and they are on top. Woo! Big yells.
8-5. The Blaze have the lead for the first time here this weekend in Chattanooga. So we go to the top of the 5th. Talons come up. Their second hitter in this inning will be Sierra Sacco out of Mississippi State. Speaking of the Bulldogs, Taryn Mowat-McKinney is here, one of the assistants on the Bulldog staff. Of course, we saw R Chaffin pitching earlier in this game, so the connection for the Bulldogs to the Talons.
It's been fun to watch these two on the same team as well. Both receiving golden tickets. They've been getting it done. Sierra Sacco has been so fun to watch. Opening day lineup, she was slotted in that 9 spot, hit a home run, gets bumped up to the top, and has been there ever since. And a good start from R Chaffin.
Yeah, so Kalani Ricketts now it is the 3rd pitcher of the game. It's popped up on the infield. Danielle Gibson Horton steps in front of Leach to make the catch for out number 1. And the veteran Ricketts in the circle now.
Yeah, full staff approach for Blaze. Alicia Ocasio got the start. A little bit of a bumpy outing for her, and then passes the ball over to the rookie, Emma Lemley, who got out of a huge bases-loaded jam in the last inning, which I feel like was some momentum defensively that went right into that dugout. Offensively, they came out guns blazing. Of course, the big swing from Klingler, but the table was set with the hitters in front of her, and I just feel like momentum is so real.
Grand slam for Klingler. And Lemley's been busy these 2 days in Chattanooga as well, and it was a chance to just kind of get her out of the game, bring in a new pitcher and let her feel good about this particular outing. Get out of that jam.
Yeah, and if you are going to make a switch, I'm a big fan of giving a pitcher a clean inning. You know, a lot of times it's, okay, we plan to use 3 arms, and this is the order that we're going to use them in. Brought in Emma Lemley in the 3rd, let her pitch through that 3rd, and then through a whole 4th.
Ball's hit deep to center field, and it's not going to be catchable this time out in center field. Well, you told Sacco stop hitting it to center field because Andrews had made 3 catches on her out in center field. Said, you know, I'll just hit it farther where she can't catch it.
Great point.
That's her 2nd home run for the rookie Sierra Sacco.
It is just so impressive to watch a rookie swing like this. And you know what? What a moment to have her be a leadoff. She is a professional hitter as a rookie. Has looked so calm. Every at-bat has been good. There hasn't been one time where I've watched her at-bat going, oh, she looks a little lost in this at-bat. No, she looks dialed in on everything. Had the 3 flyouts to center field, but you and I were kind of looking at each other going, that ball's hit well. That ball's hit well. So, you know, getting it over the head of Aaliyah Andrews was key there for Sacco, but hits it well again.
So I mentioned it's her second home run, and of course her first was the first home run in league history. And the first run. She killed 2 birds with 1 stone with the first home run and says, thank you for number 2.
She's probably just happy. Oh, finally, it didn't fly out to center field again.
Lee Andrews has made some magnificent catches through the years. That one,
yeah,
she wasn't going to get.
It can be frustrating as a hitter when you're seeing it well. You just have nothing to show for it. And you can kind of overthink things. Do I need to do something different? Get a different result? And sometimes the answer is no, you don't. Do exactly what you're doing.
So Sierra Briggs now in right field for the Blaze. Ball's popped up and it's going to come back twisting a few rows back. Yeah. That's genuine enthusiasm.
I never get tired of seeing the excitement from these young fans getting a foul ball. It just, every time, gives me all the feels.
If we go back to her right now, she's going to be looking at that ball. Oh, now a fan just made a catch up near the top of the stadium. Hold on. That gentleman. I mean, right at the top of the stadium.
I'm guessing that's a softball dad, who this is not his first rodeo.
No. He's got the Carhartt shirt. He's got the, is that a toothpick or? It's in his first rodeo. So, yeah.
Daughter's like, Dad, give it to me. Look at this.
Yeah,
no way. Wow.
I'm guessing that's his wife. And she's like, did you notice he immediately reached for the balls? Like, give that to me.
That was an amazing catch.
It was. That's at the left field. I can get away with that comment on Father's Day, okay?
Well,
2 outs.
the young one couldn't make the catch. She's a little banged up. She's on the injured reserve right now. But the main thing is she has the ball, right?
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Ooh, she wants to throw a changeup.
Ooh.
She's already working on her changeup grip.
Could be, it could be a Rice.
Okay.
Well, looks like she's tucking the finger a little bit. Off-speed curve as well.
Aguilar at the plate. He's been hit by a pitch twice and walked once. Eight runs, 9 hits now for the Blaze. 6 runs, 7 hits for the Talons. Ricketts using the rosin bag on. Definitely a warmer feel here today than it was yesterday with the humidity. Three balls and a strike. You being someone who pitched in Tucson, Arizona most of your life, are only familiar with humidity when you travel away from home.
You would be correct.
3-2.
I would always notice that when I pitched in places that were a little bit more humid like this, your ball moves more.
Really?
Yeah. I'd be throwing a drop going, whoa, that's got a little bit more break than back home.
3-2 pitch. Well, there you go. So now Aguilar has 2 walks to go with her 2 hit by pitches. So besides the discomfort of pitching in the warmer weather, there was an advantage to pitching in humidity, huh?
I think you throw a little harder when there isn't humidity. So like in Tucson or Colorado, I think, you know, it's a big recruiting tournament. Pitchers' velocity will be up, but not so much the movement. Will kind of flatten things out a little bit. So you just have to learn how to pitch in different environments. You can make adjustments for sure, but there is a difference.
All right. Well, Lemley's going to come back in the game here. Ricketts makes a quick appearance. She comes out, and Lemley returns. Again, this is one of the differences in AUSL that you can't do in college unless you're the starting pitcher. You're not going to be able to come back. Lemley, who pitched in relief and came out, is allowed to return in this league back in. Lemley will get loosened back up as the Talons are going to get the tying run coming to the plate here with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Kaylani takes a seat back in the dugout.
A little interesting. The only reason I say that is this is the part of the lineup, Tori Vidales and Hannah Flippen. They had back-to-back singles off of Emma Lemley last inning.
That is true as you look at the scorecard. Vidales had a base hit to left, Flippen the same. Lemley had the bases loaded with nobody out while we were chatting with Bailey Klingler at the fly ball to left that Corby Otis turned into a big double play in that inning with a catch and a throw to the plate. There's the numbers earlier today for Lemley. Tori jumping on the first pitch, but pulls it foul. You know, this Talons team has really hit well, especially this weekend. If that base hit for Vidales her last time up is the indication that she's starting to find her groove. And oh boy, and another big bat that's hot to this lineup.
The Talons have scored in every inning except for the 4th when they had the bases loaded, and defensively the Blaze had that double play and the Lemley gets a strikeout to get out of the jam.
Big hack got under it. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Vidales.
Tori was swinging there. She had 1 goal in mind on that swing. I like it. I like a big home run hack early in the count.
Flippen waiting on deck. Ellis picked up an RBI with a sac fly back in the 2nd inning. 2nd RBI of the season.
You won't see a lot of off-speed pitches from Emma Lemley, maybe a couple a game. It's going to be all about her curve to both sides of the plate and then her rise ball.
Another one pulled foul. Is that a 3rd pitch you would like to see Lemley develop more at the pro level now?
You bet. Absolutely. And that is what is most exciting to me about this league is you get pitchers and All-Americans coming out of our collegiate game that like Emma Lemley, and there is room for growth. And we were talking to Bailey Klingler, talk about her rookies defensively, Anna Gold and Corby Otis, and how they're sponges for information, trying to learn everything. And it's kind of funny because the Blaze is a team with a ton of coaches on their roster. Assistant coaches. There's one head coach on the other side. That's Victoria Hayward, head coach at Nevada. But there is a lot of information in that dugout for the Blaze. And so if you're a rookie like Emma Lemley or Anna Gold, Corby Otis, I'm soaking all of that up. But in terms of just individual development for Emma Lemley, if she could have a consistent changeup that she could throw right now to Tori Vidales in this at-bat, it would make her so tough. Think about what she's able to do with really just 1 speed. Everything is moving up, doesn't throw a down ball. She'll throw her rise ball low in the zone, but it's not down spin.
And been really busting Tori in, then works her away, and Vidales reaches out to foul it away.
That pitch right there was her off-speed. That's her off-speed curve. It's not a true off-speed where it's 12 to 20 miles an hour difference. It's maybe 6 to 7. Low 60s, high 50s. But that was it. That was her off-speed right there.
I'll tell you what, this is quite a plate appearance here from Vidales, who's fouling off pitch after pitch.
And when you're in an at-bat like this, it always favors the hitters. The more that Tori Vidales can see from Emma Lemley's arsenal, fouling off pitches that she doesn't like, it, you know, gives Emma Lemley opportunities to make mistakes because you're throwing so many different looks at Vidales.
That is crushed but fouled on the left field side. That gets out of the ballpark foul. That's 9 foul balls that she's hit in this plate appearance, and we're still waiting the outcome of the at-bat.
And you feel it as a pitcher. You kind of feel it going, okay, this is kind of going the hitter's way, but you have that adrenaline, your competitive fire where I do not want to lose this at-bat.
Backing up, the shortstop on a goal on the green to make the catch. Wow, what a battle that was. And Lemley, it took her double-digit pitches and almost 10 foul balls, but retires the side. But they had a run on the Sacco homer. Well, as we come back from break, this should bring back some memories for Kenzie Fowler. Your dad was an important part of your development, your sisters, as you were growing up.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Who that is. There's Kenzie and Dad. And the floor is yours.
I love that my dad is rocking the Arizona hat, and I'm about 8 years old here playing some bobby socks. I don't even know if they call it bobby socks anymore, but that's what we called it back in the day. How about the aluminum TPS bat? Yes, absolutely. Shout out to Pops. Good stuff. Hopefully he's watching still, or maybe he got bored and went to work on his tractors, but usually he's tuned in.
Good. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, happy Father's Day, Dad.
8-6, Blaze leading. They're trying to salvage a game of this 3-game series on Father's Day.
I will say some of these young girls about, you know, my age in that photo, they have a lot more swag than I did. The hat was not doing much for me there.
I thought it was great. Swag or no swag?
The hat with the bangs. Yeah, it was a look.
Faraimo's first pitch to Taylor Edwards. Into the bottom half of the 5th. Taylor's hit a couple balls to center. Last one she hit well to center field, was run down by Sacco. This one's in the air right side, and looks like Aguilar wants that right near the line. One gone, last of the 5th.
Well, happy Father's Day to you as well. Shout out to Trevor. Trevor Neely? Yeah, your son.
College baseball playing days at University of St. Mary.
Is he watching?
He's actually he's working in baseball now. He's at the field, but yeah, we'll make sure, because he really enjoys antagonizing you when you two have gotten together. So.
Yes, we had some good times with the Super Regionals back in 21, 22.
Yeah,
we were together.
Happy Father's Day on this Sunday. And you could spend part of it with us here in Chattanooga. Howard Dobson's got the lineup card out once again. So Faraimo has come out. And we're going to see, looks like Lopez. There is Mariah.
My dad texted me that he is tuned in.
Excellent.
So, yeah, I think it's too hot in Tucson right now to be outside working on tractors.
Okay.
It's usually what he's doing.
So Mariah Lopez enters the game here in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, all hands on deck on both sides. Game 3, we have seen every look from both pitching staffs. Saw Mariah Lopez briefly yesterday in relief. different look than the two righties, R Chaffin and Faraimo, both righties. Of course, you have a different look, something that you can show. Especially I like it in that middle spot, that middle relief, to kind of break up all of the pitching changes. Mary Lopez, good spot for her.
And he mentioned she did pitch in relief yesterday in game 1 against the Blaze. Went 2/3 of an inning through 21 pitches. A couple hits allowed, couple earned runs, and seeing Harrod's base is empty, 1 out. And the number 9 hole hitter coming up in Aaliyah Andrews. One for 2 days so far for Aaliyah, and bounce to short. Flippen gets it there in time. That's about the only way you can throw out Aaliyah Andrews on an infield ground ball, if it's hit
right to you
with some pace and right at you.
Yep.
And even then, it's a close play. And Lopez gets a quick out of Andrews for the second out, and back to the top now in Aubrey Leach.
Aubrey Leach is doing her best Caroline Jacobsen impression yesterday.
3 walks?
Yeah, Caroline Jacobsen was just a walking machine. Now leads the league with walks, so Aubrey Leach has not been able to swing it today. 3 walks.
She went up there swinging at the first pitch. Like, if you throw anything close, I am not.
I don't blame her.
Not willingly walking.
Yeah. She's a contact hitter, but is very patient, which is that perfect combination for a leadoff.
And the next 2 pitches have been up in her eyes that she's easily taken. 2 balls and a strike. Romero in tight, as is Vidales at first.
Yeah, Aubrey Leach is one of the best drag bunters in the game, but right now swinging away. Seeing Romero and Vidales.
Now a full count on Leach. Are we about to see? Oh! I was going to say ball 4, but instead it was a rocket right at Tori Vidales. Man. Hit right on the screws. And they go 3 up, 3 down after this hard hit ball.
Well, we were talking about how the corners were in tight, and this is playing with a little bit of fire here. Tori Vidales stays on her feet, makes a catch, out number 3.
Father's Day in Chattanooga, day 3 this weekend from Frost Stadium. Our game summary here. It's the Blaze up by 2. It's been the only time they've actually had the lead at any point in the 3 games of this series. After the grand slam from Bailey Klingler back in the 4th. So top of the 6th, Hannah Flippen leads off for the Talons and jumps on the first pitch and bounces that into the left field corners. Otis plays it in. She will hold Flippen to a leadoff single, her 3rd single today.
Yeah, I cannot believe the offense that we've seen this weekend.
It has been prodigious on both sides. And if you're the Blaze, you're frustrated because you had a big offensive day yesterday, both games of the doubleheader, and lost twice.
Yep.
Caroline Jacobsen fouling off the first pitch. Carolina had a base hit to center field in the 1st inning. 1 for 3 today.
Also worth noting that the Blaze are down a couple of arms with Elena Vaughter and Carly Hoover on the temporary inactive list. They'll be joining AUSL shortly.
Yeah, we saw Megan Faraimo come in for this series. She had been pitching in Japan the opening weekend of AUSL that she missed. Towards third. That's a fair ball into left field. Otis will cut it off quickly. Corey Otis definitely playing a very good left field. Holds that to just one base and keeps Flippen at second.
Caroline Jacobsen turning on a pitch that's up around her eyes. And Bailey Klingler at third was playing a step off, but that ball is hit way too sharp. Gets past her, and the Talons offensively, no outs, needing a little bit of a rally to get back in this one.
Hayward comes into bat here and lays down a bunt, and it's a 5-4 sacrifice that advances the potential tying runs in the scoring position for the Talons.
Hayward was in the spot of Bri Ellis, who had her first rookie home run back in the third. So situational, wanting a sacrifice bunt right there in that situation. Victoria Hayward, a little bit of small ball, doing her job.
Sydney Romero hit by pitch twice and struck out, so just the one official time at bat. Talons batting in the top of the 6th. And the tying runs in scoring position. Jacobsen and Flippen. Just a little bit inside on a close pitch.
That's a great take from Sydney Romero. Really can't do anything with that. If she does swing, it's either going to be a jam shot or a foul ball for a strike.
Interesting to watch Romero swing there.
Yeah, that is Emma Lemley's best pitch right there. Nice ball in the inner half with some heat behind it.
Goes up after it, sends it to center field. Catch is made by Andrews. Here comes Flippen for the plate, and the throw not in time. Not a bad throw at all from Andrews. And Flippen able to slide in safely. A sac fly for Romero, and her 4th RBI of the season makes it a 1-run game.
One thing the Talons have done so well this weekend is productive outs. They have not wasted a ton of opportunities. You saw the sac bunt from Hayward and then the sac fly from Sid Romero. So 2 outs, but advancing runners, scoring a run.
Jalen Alchin, base hit and run scored her first time up back in the 2nd. Just 1 runner aboard now with 2 outs, and that's the potential tying run. Jacobsen at second. Each team now with 9 hits in the game. Alchin sends it towards deep right center field to the warning track. It's caught to end the inning by Leah Andrews. Off the bat, looked like it may have a chance to get out and give the Talons back the lead, but it falls short. Talons do pick up a run, and it's a 1-run game going to the bottom of the 6th.
The history here, the first Grand Slam in AUSL history off of the bat of Bailey Klingler. Bases were loaded, and she delivered. Big screens. I love that reaction right there from her. She has been so hot. I mean, dare I say it, she's on the right team. The Blaze, her bat is literally blazing hot. Just absolute video game numbers.
So she's 14 for 22 on the season. You see her series numbers. So she's hitting .636 on the year. And she is due up second in this inning. 2, 3, and 4 here for the Blaze, who know they're going to take at least a 1-run lead to the 7th. Can they add? First pitch swinging out to left field. And Olsen drifts back to make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out, and that's going to bring Klingler right to the plate right now.
Now, a lot of times you'll see hitters when they're on, hitting streaks like this, where it's maybe dialed in on one pitch or one pitcher. It's just one of those matchup things, but it has been anybody that's in the circle. Bailey Klingler is not phased. She gets hits early and often. Looks like the Talons making another pitching change here.
They are indeed, and bringing the starter back in. R Chaffin, who started the game in the circle, is going to re-enter here for the Talons.
Well, this is the second time that the Talons had made a pitching change for Bailey Klingler. Remember in the 4th when she hit that grand slam, Megan Faraimo entered the game with the bases loaded to face Bailey Klingler. And Bailey Klingler, of course, went yard. So obviously bases loaded is not a situation here. Clean bases for the Talons, but you can tell right now strategically there is a lot of thought about who is at the plate and how hot Klingler's bat has been.
Yeah, it was on Faraimo's first pitch that Klingler hit out to right center field.
Yeah, so to my point, the fact that it was a new pitcher, a huge moment knowing that, that at bat was pretty much it for the game. They were down and looking for the lead for the first time all weekend, and she said, I'm going to swing on the first pitch and I'm going to be on time. Typically you'll talk in the dugout and coaches will talk to you, hey, new pitcher, see a pitch, get your timing right, take until you get a strike, the bases are loaded. We want something big to happen here. So for her to go into that at bat with the confidence to swing at a first pitch, be on time, and I talked about this, the pitch location, it was not bad for Faraimo. I thought it was a ball off. It wasn't like it was over the heart of the plate. It's kind of like that right there.
There's her day. 3 for 3, 636 on the season. The first 2 pitches are outside from Chaffin. You kind of get the feeling like if you're the Talons, the worst thing in the world isn't a walk to Bailey Klingler right here.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to see anything to hit here.
So then it forces you to pitch to
Danielle
Gibson Horton, the biggest lefty power bat in the Blaze lineup.
Yeah, they didn't even mess around at all with Bailey there, and I can't blame them. I mean, if anything's been close, she's been hitting it hard.
Yes. And
so why not?
Yeah, one of those things where it's, you talk about the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and same result. Well, it's kind of been an insane weekend for Bailey Klingler. So, okay, put her on via the walk, something different, shake it up a little bit and see if you can roll the dice with the hitter behind her and Danielle Gibson Horton.
And see, it's a slow roller to first. Vidales goes to second for 1, back to first, not in time. And for now, that strategy for the Talons has worked out.
Elite pitch call right there. First pitch changeup. Gibson Horton is watching what is happening to the hitter in front of her, Bailey Klingler, and so she knows, she's a coach herself, that I am going to get some pitches, and so she's in a hitter's mindset, looking early to swing on the first pitch. And what do? You counter it. R Chaffin throws a changeup down in the zone, and you get a weak ground out.
And now we'll have another pitching change. So they're going to bring Faraimo back for his second time, with Corby Otis coming up. With that, we'll step aside here in Chattanooga. Chicky there. Hey fellas. Oh, we got crew here, a great crew in Chattanooga. Happy Father's Day to all the dads who are manning cameras here. We got a lot of them around the stadium. Happy Father's Day from Chattanooga. And Frost Stadium, another close game. We had a 2-run game and a 1-run game yesterday in a doubleheader. It's a 1-run game now in the bottom of the 6th. Faraimo has come back into the game for a second time as there's free re-entry. Otis, the hitter for the Blaze. You know, I know Bailey Klingler has been the star of the game to this point for the Blaze. That's kind of overshadowed the day that Otis has had. It's been really, really good and just got under that, but it will be shy of the warning track, and the catch made to win the inning. I mean, she missed hitting that one out by an eyelash. And the side is retired. So last chance for the Talons, down 1, but they have the top of the order coming up. But it's Softball League is sponsored by Nike. Happy Father's Day from Frost Stadium in Chattanooga. 3rd and final game of the series from the Volunteer State. Blaze are trying to salvage a game of this series. They're going to take a 1-run lead to the 7th. The top of the order coming up for the Talons. The Talons who've taken the first 2 games of the set in a doubleheader yesterday. And Ocasio, who's the starting pitcher in this game for the Blaze, re-enters here for the top of the 7th.
Just looking at the score line, 9 hits for each team. 1-run ball game. Here we go.
You see Ocasio's numbers through 2 1/3 to begin the game. 4 hits, 5 earned runs. Did not record a strikeout. And the top of the order up. Sacco. His first pitch, ball 1. Sacco's hit 4 balls to center field. 3 caught by Aaliyah Andrews, and the other one went over Aaliyah's head over the fence for a solo home run. 2-0.
Remember, the base on balls and the hit by pitches were an issue for Alicia Ocasio in her start in this game today.
They were indeed. It's a strike over to make it 2-1. Sacco's 5th inning home run solo shot, her 2nd of the year. Set down the left field side, foul. Putting her to work on Father's Day.
I don't think she thinks it's work.
Yeah. Hey, if you get paid to work, that you love. That is over the head of the second baseman, Aubrey Leach, and into right center field. So Sacco has a hit. And the potential tying run is on with nobody out to begin the top of the 7th.
Ocasio fell behind in this at-bat to Sacco. Fell behind 2-0, had to climb back into it.
Brings up the 2-hole hitter, Charlize Palacios. Walked and was hit by pitch against Ocasio, her first 2 plate appearances. You know, Ocasio never really found a true rhythm in her 2+ innings. Interesting to bring her back here in the 7th with the game on the line. A chance to close out a win for the Blaze. Yep. Fell behind Sacco 2-0, does the same to Palacios, so now it's 3-0. I wouldn't think the leash would be very long here, would it, for Ocasio?
Now the Blaze still have Hope Troutwine, Valdespino, and Brooke McCubbin in the bullpen that we haven't seen today. We've seen them this weekend.
Well, ground ball to third. Klingler, second, out to first. Safe. Gets a big out there. There's Klingler able to get it to Leach on the force out of Sacco, and now Palacios is on with one out. Here's Aguilar. Alley against Ocasio in the first 2 innings. Just like Palacios, walked and was hit by pitch.
Little off speed there. And Ocasio is rolling her best. She's using her off speed, like that pitch right there, and her drop ball down in the zone. Rolling ground ball out.
Ball's behind it, 2 balls and a strike. Down the left field side, foul.
And you can tell right now Ocasio does not want to go upstairs and give Ali Aguilar, who hit a home run yesterday, any chance to see something high in the sky. Every pitch that Ocasio has shown Aguilar to both sides has been down in the zone.
Two-two pitch. Strike 3. And arguably for Ocasio, her best pitch of the day right there to get out number 2.
She has struggled with that exact pitch today. Has not been able to locate it, and she does right here. Curveball in tight. Ali Aguilar, where she stands to home plate, she is toes up on the chalk, and so she may be thinking that's inside, but because of where she stands, it just seems a little bit tighter. That is painting strike 3 for Alicia Ocasio.
The Talons down to their final out, but still tying one on base. Go ahead run at the plate at Vidales, who had a long plate appearance against Lemley 2 innings ago in the 5th. Fouled off 8 or 9 pitches for popping out. Deep breath for Torrey. I'd love to square one up here. That's ball 3. Ocasio's fallen behind all the hitters she's faced in this inning. That was a 3-0 strike. Blaze trying to hang on and pick up a win here in Chattanooga. Ooh, Folder with an off-speed pitch.
And like it, 3-1 count. Vidales thinks that she has a pitch to play with, going for a big swing. Look at the off-speed.
The Talons down to their final strike. Dallas a base hit in the 4th. 1 for 3 today. Also a sac fly that brought in a run. Towards short. That gets past Gold into left field. It's going to move the potential tying run into scoring position. And 2 runners on with 2 outs for the veteran Hannah Flippen. Second hit of the day for Tori Vidales.
Got another look at that off-speed pitch from Ocasio, makes the adjustment, and this barely gets by on a Gold at short. Dive was just a little bit late. Passing the bat to another hot hitter this weekend in Hannah Flippen.
Got 3 hits today. Had 3 hits in the doubleheader yesterday, including a 3-run home run. Got a couple of runners on here. Once again, Ocasio falls behind. 2 balls, no strikes. And Taylor Edwards is going to go out to the circle. Blaze were a strike away from getting a win here in Chattanooga. Vidales keeps it alive. Brief conversation, and now Ocasio ready to go back to work. Low strike.
That was a big pitch. Don't want to go down 3-0 and then really have to serve something up.
And it was a borderline pitch that went her way. This time it's too far off the plate, and now it's 3-1, and just what you were mentioning, Kinsey, is in play again.
3-1 count now. Hannah Flippen has the ability to really pick a pitch and get after it.
And she hits it in the air, deep right center field. It is back to the track, and it is out. It sneaks over the wall in right center field. Second 3-run homer of the series for Flippen, and the Talons are back in front.
What is this series? This is the series of the offense. My goodness. This is a missed spot from Ocasio. You can see where Taylor Edwards was set up. It was supposed to be inside. We talked to Hannah Flippen yesterday. She loves the ball up, and she gets it right here. Up and out. That's exactly where she hits it. Good effort out there at the wall. It gets up and out of here, and look at the dugout. What a swing.
Well, what a series for Flippen. He has 5 RBIs today. And for the series has 10. Incredible.
Think about how she started this game with that 2 RBI single in the first.
Jacobsen sends it in the air to center field. Andrews there to make the catch, but the damage done with the Talons at one point down to their final strike in that inning. Get the 3-run home run from Flippen and have flipped the game. And now we'll take a 2-run lead to the bottom of the 7th. What a series for Flippen, who's knocked in 10 over the last couple of days. Well, Hannah Flippen's 3-run home run in the top of the 7th with the Talons down to their final out. It's given the Talons a 2-run lead to the bottom of the 7th. When you look at the line score, you notice several things. Number one, the Talons have scored in every inning except the 4th. And the 6th spot, thanks to Bailey Klingler's grand slam for the Blaze back in the 4th.
Now, this was a huge moment offensively for the Blaze, who had really just been needing that big extra base hit. They get it, the first grand slam of AUSL history. Looks like they're going to get their first win of the weekend, a strike away. And Hannah Flippen gets to the plate, 3-1 count, 3-run home run, her second home run of the weekend. And here we are with the Talons back in front, bottom of the 7th. Here comes the Blaze.
6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Blaze. Anna Gold leads off against Megan Faraimo. First pitch strike. Now the Talons needing 3 defensive outs to sweep this 3-game set in Chattanooga. Gold's had a good day. 2 for 3. Couple RBIs, and one of those hits went for extra bases. Popped up right side, fighting the sun, which not many fielders have had to do this weekend here in Chattanooga, but Aguilar makes the catch near the line. 1 out.
So big to get that leadoff out in the 7th inning. The Talons were able to get that leadoff runner on. Get a little confidence to the dugout, pass the bat, get some momentum, put more pressure on the pitcher.
First pitch strike, Kaylee Harding. Came in the middle innings. Walked to lead off that big 4th inning. Batted a second time in that inning and flied to center to end it. Now Faraimo has gotten her in the hole 0-2. Blaze are unable to come back here. They would drop to 1-5 on the season, and they've had some difficult losses, including both games really yesterday against the Talons. But this score holds. This may be the most devastating of all, and now they're going to be down to their final out as a strikeout of Harding.
And no doubt it would be the most heartbreaking of the 3 games. Just because they did have the lead, they had the momentum, had the big hit with the grand slam, and the 2 games yesterday, it was a comeback effort. We're down big and kind of had their backs against the wall. Different types of games for Blaze.
Down to their final out. Now it's the Blaze, with the Talons trying to close it out. Taylor Edwards 0 for 3 today. Blaze need a base runner to have a chance, down 2. And Howard Dobson pops out the dugout. This mainly about pitch selection here. What do you think?
I think this is just a little motivation, a little pep in the step for Megan Faraimo, falling behind in the count here 2-0. You're up 2, and just a little reminder of where you're at in the lineup. Yes, Taylor Edwards is a power bat and a total veteran, but you have the luxury to pitch to her because you are up 2. And the hitter that hits behind Taylor Edwards is a short gamer in Aaliyah Andrews. Just a little bit of a little pep talk. Go at her.
Does so with a really good pitch. At the low part of the zone. They appealed. No swing, says John Schaefer down at first base. So it is a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Edwards should get something to swing at here. And pops it up. Who wants it? Appropriately, it's Flippen who makes the catch. And at one point in the top of this inning, they were down to their final strike. And then down to their final out. Flippen's home run proves to be the game winner as the Talons win at 10-8, and they take all 3 games against the Blaze here in Chattanooga.
What a series. Of course, it was all about the offense this weekend. Think about the scores that we had in these games. 14-12, 7-6, and 10-8. So, man, the Blaze right there, that hurts, especially in this one. They had the lead. You got to credit the talent. This is a tough lineup. They started each game early and then kept on it offensively, 1 through 9. Everyone has been swinging the bat here in Chattanooga.
And the Talons scored in every inning except the 4th. And in that inning, they had the bases loaded, nobody out, and didn't score. But they wind up winning at 10-8. And what a series for Hannah Flippen. And this proved to be the game-winning hit with them down to their last down in the top of the inning.
Yeah, Hannah Flippen had a home run yesterday in the first game, which kind of set the tone for the entire weekend. So it's very fitting that she closes the weekend with another 3-run home run. This is a veteran who has been on the professional level and has played with Team USA, so she has seen it all. Nothing phases her. 2 outs, so what? Big swing, and the Talons with another win.
And she loves having the headset on. We know. We appreciate you putting that on, Hannah. Hey, let me ask you this first. When you hit that, did you think it was going out?
Yeah, I'll say yeah. No, I mean, I knew I got a good piece of it, but ball doesn't seem to be flying as much to right center as it is to left field. So, and obviously Aaliyah and I think Briggs might have been out there at that point. Like, they're great outfielders, and so you just never know. Like, I didn't quite get enough of it, so Aaliyah's a fantastic outfielder, and I was just hoping it got far enough away from her, and it did. So.
Your team was down 2 going into the 7th there. What was the talk in the dugout about setting the table, getting back into that? Did you guys plan to hit a home run? Like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah, of course. I said, you guys, I got you. No, I mean, just as long as we have outs to work with, we're in the game. And that's what we've been preaching all week, all season, is quality at bats with runners on base. As long as we have outs to outs to give, then we're going to take advantage of those. The game's not over until every out has been recorded.
Hey, what did you learn about the Talons this weekend with the doubleheader yesterday and the crazy games? They had an 11-run lead and lost that and still won. There was some nutty stuff going on here this weekend.
Yeah, there's some grit in there for sure. Coach Kirk is talking about guts all week. He said this is going to be a gutsy win, and that's what it was. When you see a team 3 times in a row, it's hard to beat somebody 3 times in a row.
Yep.
And so that's what we did today. We had some guts. We went for it. Our pitchers just fought all weekend long. It was really tough. They showed great resilience. Megan coming back in to finish this game today was huge. Yeah, just super proud of the Talons.
The team's waiting to take a photo there in the circle. You're needed, so we'll let you go. Congratulations on a huge weekend. We appreciate the time, Hannah.
Thanks, guys. Go Talons.
Hannah Flippen had the big hit. Had many big hits in this series. Man, it was an offensive series, not offensive, offensive.
You bet. It was one for the hitters, that's for sure.
It was a lot of fun. What else do you take away from this weekend quickly?
It was fun to see the first Grand Slam. Bree Ellis gets her first home run. A lot of firsts.
Yeah, we saw some history for sure. That's going to take care of things. From a great weekend in Chattanooga, we got past the rain on Friday and had 3 fun days in Chattanooga. For Kinsey Fowler, our great crew, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks so much for sharing this one with us. Talents come back and win it 10-8, and so long from Chattanooga.